So this will be a little bit more, I'd say unstructured, but let's talk about overfitting. And before we do, let's I'll show you. See that tree right there? We come out here all the time and hike, and my daughters think that's their ship. That's their ship. They use that. That's their Viking sailing ship, and they pirate. I think it's their pirate sailing ship, and they just fly. You know, they get on that thing and they ride around. So, what is overfitting? Because I'm seeing a lot of it lately. Overfitting is when you say, "Hey, I know that my best list is XYZ, and that's what I'm going to use." A lot of people, I think, ask what is the best list, and it's not the right question to ask, because what you really want isn't a good list. What you want is the highest ROI. So different things. Don't believe me? Let me explain. If you choose a great list, and I'm not saying there's not stuff out there that typically performs higher than others. Like, I loved code violations. Code violations perform really, really well compared to everything else. So do sewer liens, utility liens, yowza. Like, if you're not flushing the toilet, let's talk about it. But what I'm saying is that when you say, okay, I'm going to narrow everything down to this one thing, you end up losing, you spend $1,000 and say, okay, I'm going to spend $1,000 on this particular set without having enough information to know that 700 of that is like purely waste. Like, there's no way those people are ever going to sell to you, and you're wasting it. And that 700 could have gone to somebody who does want actually to sell to you, or does want to sell to an investor. So when you're going after a list and you start overfitting, which means that you say, okay, I'm going to use this criteria and this criteria and this criteria and this criteria and this criteria, and you chop it so far down that it's so thin, you're really ruling out a lot of things, when the better question is like, what is it that I'm actually trying to achieve? What I'm actually wanting is the highest return. What I actually want is to get the most deals that I possibly can for $1,000 or $5,000 or whatever it is. Like, that's what you're really going after. So it's really important that, just to have an awareness around the fact that if you really cut something down, a lot of times you're cutting out stuff that, you're leaving out what you actually want.